Hey everyone,
I'm Danielle.
and I'm Devontae, and welcome to the Couples Corner. Today we're going to be talking about our proposal story, so get ready for this.
Okay, so after 2 years of dating me, how did you know that you wanted to marry me?
Okay, first and foremost, the attraction definitely had to be there, right? Attraction is everything, but it definitely had to be there. And after the attraction, because I thought you were drop dead gorgeous, I really did. I
Thank
really
you.
did. I mean, my gosh. But after the attraction, I think some of the things I could say is the best friend relationship because of us building up that friendship before we were even like romantically involved.
Yeah.
It really made a difference. Comfortability. I didn't feel like I needed to be perfect around her. I could just be myself. You know what else? I realized that yes, it was nice going out with you, like doing activities and stuff like that, but we could just be by ourselves, sitting on a couch, sitting in a car, talking for hours and just enjoy the being in each other's presence.
Have a good time.
Have a good time.
Yeah, just doing nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think like it's nice going out and all, and I love doing that, whether that's eating or activities. But I think you really know if you really like a person once all those things are stripped away and it's just you two. Can I stand being in their presence? Can I stand their personality? Spending an entire day or days with them and so on. It just came naturally for us in terms of that. So best friend relationship, attraction was there. You also felt safe. You felt safe. I remember I was sitting in a car, and I don't know if you remember this. We were sitting in a car one night, and it was right outside my house. We must have been just dating that year. And my mom had come out, and she was talking to Danielle and myself. And I don't know how the story came about, but we're talking about family stuff and like family trauma. And I remember my mom was talking to us and then she went back inside. And then it was just Danielle and myself. And we got into a deep conversation about some of the pain I experienced as a kid growing up and everything. And I remember recalling the story and being safe enough to share it, and also shedding some tears too. I shed some tears that night. And Danielle just like, you put your hands around me, you gave me a hug. And you let me know everything's going to be all right. And I think for men, it's very important to have that safe space to land,
Mm,
you know?
emotional safety.
Yeah, emotional safety, because sometimes I feel like there are some women in relationships, they say they want a guy that's emotionally available, but a part of that emotional availability is being able to accept a guy's tears that might come along with that process, shedding some tears.
Yeah.
And you allowed me to do that. And you didn't shame me for it.
Mm.
You just let me express myself and you were present and accounted for. Yeah. So that emotional safety was definitely there, gotta
Yeah.
say. So emotional safety.
And can I just say something to that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Thank you for one trusting me
Yeah.
with that conversation that
Yeah.
you have with me. I know it's not easy always to be vulnerable as a man, as a Black man in society today. I think that you all carry so much. And sometimes you aren't always able to express that
Mhm.
or able to safely feel like you can tell others. So thank you for allowing me to be there for you and just giving me the opportunity to be there for you because I feel like that's really important too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Just
you
wanted to
so
say that.
much. I appreciate it. I think that was like high on my list. It was really high on my list. And I mean, there's so many other things, but I think the last thing I would say is that level of accountability. And I feel like
Really?
yeah, level of accountability. It's like this weird thing. It's like, man, sometimes your spouse, even before your spouse, just your girlfriend, boyfriend, because you guys are growing together and learning about each other, you can care deeply for each other, but also annoy each other easily because sometimes you have pet peeves from each other or you've been around each other so long that you know what might piss off the other person.
Yeah,
And you might do it intentionally or unintentionally.
right.
And Danielle did it intentionally. No, I'm just joking. Okay?
It
but
was not
but
intentional.
it felt like it. But it felt like it. But honestly, let me just say this. I really learned to appreciate your level of accountability.
Mm.
You were doing it even during like friendship. And I was like, oh, she's fresh. She got a little attitude on her. But then I would take some time after and be like, okay, she made a good point. She made a good point. I just think that as Black men, sometimes we have this thing with our mothers and we get annoyed sometimes at the nagging. And sometimes it's a trigger.
The nagging of your mother.
Mother. the nagging of the mom, right? And it ends up being like a trigger when it comes to your future relationships when you have that girlfriend or that wife that might be holding you accountable, but you see it as nagging.
Why?
Do you feel like the person is just trying to tell you what to do other than just actually helping you out?
So you don't like being told what to do.
I don't like being told what to do without a conversation. And I also don't like being told what to do. So that answers that too.
Well, when have I told you what to do without having a conversation?
It's not that you did that, but sometimes it's like a tone, like a serious kind of tone that made it feel that was triggering. So it wasn't that you were doing it, but sometimes the tone reminded me of it. And that's what they say about triggers. Triggers are like feelings in the present based off of unfinished business from the past. Feelings in the present based off of unfinished business from the past. And so that's what I was feeling. And I had to separate that, you know?
So, okay, we're getting off topic. But yes, I hear you.
Mhm.
I hear you.
But I say that to say that I think it's very important that every man, in terms of their spouse, has a level of accountability. Not someone that's just going to be your yes man or your cheerleader. It's great that you can root me on and things like that. But also, I'm trying to grow in life. And if you're telling me yes all the time, everything you're doing is great. Wow. And don't worry, get me wrong. I'm no name calling. I know some couples like that where one person is just rooting the person on. They could be doing nonsense. Yeah, 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 you're doing so awesome. But I say that to say like I'm trying to get better in life. And Don, you really learn how to have a balance with keeping me in care, like taking care of me,
Mm.
but also still holding me accountable if there was something I needed to grow in.
Yeah.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's great.
So that's how I knew you were the one.
That's how you knew.
That's how I knew.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then once you knew, what was your next step? Like, were you sure that I wanted to marry you back? Like, what was your thought process?
Oh yeah, I was sure. I was dropping little hints. I was like, so where do you see in our first year? Where do you see this going? Do you want to get married and things like that? I asked those questions.
And what did I say?
You said absolutely, absolutely,
Okay.
Devontae Mark. Of course, I want to get married to you. Let me grab my tea.
That's my
Oh, it
gift.
is your tea. My bad.
Awesome.
Oh, I can have some.
Yeah.
Okay. But yes, I kind of our conversations kind of help me feel comfortable and confident. You would say yes.
And I think I made it pretty clear that I was very marriage minded.
Mm,
And that was something that I saw for myself
yeah,
in the near future. So, yeah, that there was no guesswork really in that
yeah,
for you. Yeah.
yeah, really beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Stop.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Back to the clock as of so.
He's trying to make me blush. Okay. So, yeah. So then what were your next steps? How did you decide on like how were you going to propose
Mhm.
to me? How did you ask for my hand in marriage?
Yeah,
Was that important to you?
yeah. So my next step was I knew that I was on the same page with her in terms of engagement. The next step was the proposal. And asking for hand in marriage, and that meant speaking to her father. You guys ready for that story? Okay.
Please tell.
Please tell.
Do tell.
So I messaged her dad. I don't remember if I called him or messaged him, but I said, I would like to speak to you in your office this week if you have any time. And he said, oh, okay, Devontae, no problem. You can meet me. I think it was like maybe like a Tuesday or Wednesday. Daniel's dad is a pastor, so we met in his office. And before we met in his office, I thought he was gonna keep it under wraps and take a hint. Like, I'm asking you outside of the house of your home something, that I can't talk to you over the phone over. I can't meet at the house.
Right.
So I'm hoping that he's gonna keep it under wraps. What do you do down here?
So I don't in my dad's defense, and I don't want to run to his defense, but I'm just assuming here. He probably didn't think that that's what you were going for.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
how was he to know?
Okay. Okay.
How was he to know? You're just asking for a conversation. He doesn't know what the conversation is about. So my dad almost gave it away because, well, Devontae's big thing is you wanted to surprise.
I want to spread.
You really, really wanted this proposal to be a surprise.
Sure did.
So in asking for my hand in marriage to my dad, you also wanted that to be a surprise. Like you didn't want me to have any inclining that things were going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So I remember, I think at the time I was in grad school, but I was going to school online. And after college, I moved back home. So I was living with my parents and going to school online. So I remember one day, my dad, he was just probably in the living room talking. And he mentioned that he had to go to the church to meet with Devante. And I was like, go to the church to meet with Devante? Why would my dad be meeting with my boyfriend? That was my first thought. And then my second thought is, Devante never told me that he wanted to meet with my dad. And again, it was like on a random Tuesday. So I was like, okay, this is strange. Why is Devante wanting to meet with my dad on a Tuesday at church? He could just come to the house. That was my first thought. But then I was like, wait a minute. I don't think he wanted me to know.
Tragic. Tragic.
So I was like, I played it cool. I was like, "Oh, okay." And I just took notes in my head. I was like, okay, all right. He's going to the church to talk to my dad. I think I know what this is about.
But didn't you also mention to me that your dad said something to you?
Yeah.
You did. Meanwhile, I haven't even met with her dad yet. So she mentioned like, my dad said you're supposed to meet with him. I was like, oh yeah, I'm talking ministry stuff, you know? In my mind, I'm like, trying to blow my cover. It's supposed to be a surprise. Anyway, I prepared a whole, speech and everything that I was gonna, process and then say to her dad, not read from the paper, but
You wrote a speech?
I wrote a speech so I can memorize it and get the gist of what I want to say.
Oh, like
I
just
didn't
get it
read it.
down on
Yeah.
paper.
I didn't read it.
Oh.
I didn't take the paper out and read it to him. No. But I knew what I was going to say. So we met at the church in his office.
Were you nervous?
I was a little nervous.
Yeah,
I was a little nervous.
I think I'd be too.
Yeah. So he sat down. He's like, I know you want to speak to me. And after that, that's when I formed what I wanted to say and basically asked for Daniel's hand in marriage. And at that point, he paused. He said, wow, that was beautiful. You have my blessing. But, and I said, but? And he goes, I need you to do this one more time. I said, one more time? To me, this was the time right here, us talking. And crazy enough, he wanted me to do the same asking of her hand in marriage with her mom present. You wanted your mom to be there. So I had to do the whole thing all over again. I had to do it twice. We had to go over to their parents' house and ask the mom for her hand in marriage, ask for the blessing. So I basically gave the same speech. I never seen your mom turn so red before.
Please.
I never seen your mom turn so red before. And she looked at your dad like, yeah. And your dad was like, yes. What did you say? What did you say? What did you say? I already gave him my blessing. Now it's your turn. Yeah, but what did you say? What did you say? What did you say? I never seen your
It's
mom.
because my mom didn't want to say yes without my dad already saying
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
What they told what your dad told me was like they do everything together. So
Me too.
that's why they wanted me to do the proposal.
Yeah.
But I still don't agree with doing it twice, you know. I believe in the tradition, asking just the dad and leaving it at that, you know. So yeah, still not happy about having to ask twice, but at the end of the day, I'm married to the love of my life. So that's what
Oh,
matters. That's what
it was
matters.
worth it.
It was worth it. It was worth it.
So that was you asking for my hand in marriage.
Yes, that was me asking for your hand in marriage.
So then when you got the yes, the
Yes.
2 yeses,
Yes.
it was go time.
It was go time.
Okay.
You ready for that story?
Yeah, so how did you plan the engagement?
Okay. So because you kind of had a heads up and were thinking that it's going to come up soon because your dad said that to you,
I did.
I had to really extend it. So I had to push it out a couple months to,
So you would have proposed to me earlier if I didn't have a heads up already?
yes, probably. Yeah. Yeah. But I needed the extra time to pay for the ring. The ring that I needed extra time to pay for the
So
ring.
don't blame it on me.
No, no, no. It was part that and part that. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, I extended it out. So I knew exactly when I wanted to do it. It was going to be in July,
August 10th.
August 10th. Really? Oh my gosh. All right. You're going to have to redo some editing here. Mercy.
You definitely proposed in August.
Lord. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had to push it out all the way to August. I had to push it out all the way to August. And so during those couple of months, I was looking at the ring that I wanted and it was so,
How did you know what ring I wanted?
that's a good question.
Do you remember?
I think over the course of us dating, you
Yeah.
kind of told me what kind of ring you liked.
Yeah.
You know?
And we had actually visited, like we went into like 1 or 2 jewelry stores.
Yeah.
And like looked at rings.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that looks nice. That
Yeah.
looks pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I knew that she liked a specific style of ring.
Mhm.
And so in my head, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to this jewelry spot, get the ring. To me, it wouldn't be a big surprise because you know the style, but at least I rather you like what you're getting than to pick something that you would hate.
Right.
That's just me. Yeah. But anyway, I was in the jewelry store and I was thinking about purchasing the ring that she wanted, but then I saw a better ring. And I said, you know what? This ring is it. The only thing, it was more expensive. So that time that it took from when I first asked for your blessing
Mm,
and then to the proposal, I had to pay a little extra money to get that ring that I wanted. Even though you
mhm.
thought I was gonna get the original ring.
I did. So how did you plan the proposal?
Okay, how did I plan the proposal?
Because I think I told you that I didn't want a big crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Did you listen to me?
I did. I did listen. I
No.
did. I did listen to her. So let me tell you how I
No,
planned the proposal. Let me tell you how I planned the proposal.
he did not.
I did listen.
There were a
I
lot
did listen.
there were a lot of people at our proposal.
No. Can we talk about the proposal?
But
Okay, so proposal. While I was preparing to get her the ring, I also wanted to make a really nice proposal for you.
mhm,
So I asked someone I know, family friend, and I said, I really want a nice proposal. I want a nice venue for Danielle and everything. They sent me a couple places, but there was this one restaurant. And the one restaurant, basically, if you go there, it had a beautiful garden outside. When the sun hit, it's hit right over the Hudson. It was gorgeous. I told the guy that was helping me, that's the place I wanted. I said, this place is gorgeous. I just wanted the outside area. He was like, the guy that was helping me out as a family friend, he was like, we can do dinner. It can be a big surprise. And all I could think of that this was getting even more expensive. I wanted it a little simple. But anyway, we were able to reserve the place, the outside area. So in my head, a lot of people would have been if I invited 50 people. But I thought when she said don't invite a lot of people, I thought 15 or 14 people were a small amount of people. Probably should have asked, but I didn't. Yeah. But we're here. We're here. So that's when I started to plan. So I text them months in advance. And the thing is, I made sure that I sent all the details out to everybody because plan is to go to church, try to distract her in the middle of the day, and then that evening the proposal would happen. Send everybody all the details beforehand so they wouldn't message me the day of and asked me a whole bunch of questions. But just like clockwork, what happened? The same people that didn't have any questions up until then, that same day, what time are you supposed to meet again? What time are we supposed to go to the place? And so imagine me at church, Danielle's talking to me, and I'm getting all these texts. And normally I'm not texting this often. So she's like, wow, you're getting a lot of texts today. And I'm thinking to myself, these people are gonna blow my cover. They're gonna blow my cover. And I was like, yeah, just a friend reach out. So I'm just checking up with them. Da 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 da. I made some excuse. Anyway, she's already kind of like looking at me like, are you trying to plan the proposal today or whatever?
I was. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. I was like, "It's gonna happen
Yeah.
soon."
Yeah. So we were at church.
Yep. And then you have suggested like, "Hey, how about we just go to the park
Mm,
and like take a little walks?" And I was like, "Okay, like that sounds good. That's fine." And so you drive us to a park, but I had never been to this park before.
mhm,
This was like a park that and overlooked the water. And I was like, "This is so nice." So you're like, hey, like I've got these chairs in the back. Let's just sit and enjoy the view.
mhm,
And I was like, aha, I know what he's up to. So I was like, okay, that sounds good. So he gets the chairs and we sit down. He's talking to me and everything. And like my radar is on alert. So I'm like looking around to see if I know anyone. I'm looking behind me to
mhm,
check, like, I don't want anyone sneaking up on me. I'm like, I'm expecting something to happen in this park because I'm like, this is a good place where he could propose, right? Nothing. What's
got it.
happening? Like,
Got him.
I thought he was gonna propose. Nah, it can't
Mhm,
be because, like, he's too calm right now. So after a little time, you're like, okay, like, I think we should go now. And then my heart just sank. I was like, oh, wow, it's not today. He's not proposing. Okay, fine. So I was like, okay, yeah, let's go. So we pick up the chairs and we get back to the car. We sit down. And he's like, I'm a little bit hungry. Are you hungry? And I was like, yeah, I could eat. And he's like, there is this cool little restaurant that I've been wanting to try out. You want to go there with me? And I was like, okay, no problem. So I'm thinking we're just gonna eat and go home, right? Like that's the end of it. That's what I was thinking. Little did I know this was all a part of his plan. So we drive to this little restaurant and it's probably like 10 minutes from the park. It was super close. How convenient, right? The little restaurant that she wanted to try was 10 minutes from the park. What
I had to, because your people were texting me early in the day and almost blowing the surprise.
Right,
I had to bring you to the park.
right.
I wasn't planning to bring you to the park. The park was there to make you think it was going to happen there,
Okay.
distract you,
Okay.
bring the anticipation down,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
So you can be like, oh, it's going to happen another day.
Right.
Then we get to the restaurant, and all the guests for the restaurant are supposed to be there already. We're supposed to be the last one walking in. But one of her people, they driving in when we walking in. And I had to distract her so she wouldn't see them because they were like this in the car. So what I did was like this. To distract her, I was like, oh my gosh. I went like that. And that's what she was like, what's wrong with you? You're crazy. And da 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 da. And I said, in my head, I'm like, that was a close one. But continue.
You see the trouble that you have to go through to hide things from me?
It was worth it.
That should be a lesson.
It was worth it.
It was worth
It
it.
was worth it.
So we get inside and I was like, I just need a table for two. And they're like, what's the name? Devante's like, Devante. And I guess I don't know if that was a cold word or what,
Yeah, it was, I mean, yeah, it was a code word.
but everyone at the restaurant is in on it. I'm just the only one who doesn't know. So the hostess says, yes, okay, we're a little busy right now, so we don't have a table ready for you. But in the meantime, we do have a beautiful garden that you can go check out while you wait. And I was like, okay, because I was feeling hungry. I didn't really want to go to the garden. I was like, okay, fine, let's go to the garden. So the hostess comes around and she actually leads us out the side door into this garden. So I start to look around and all of a sudden there's a camera in my face. There's someone like this. Okay, this is a lot. And then I look to my right and I see my mom, I see my dad, I see my brother, I see my grandma. Like I just start seeing people appear in this garden. And then it hits me and I start to cry. And I get so shy. I got so shy. I was like, I was really, really surprised.
Mhm.
I was very surprised.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
Thank you so much.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
so much. Because the code word was Devontae, and the main plan was basically to act like they were so busy, but we have to go to this gorgeous garden area on the outside.
Right.
And then that's when you saw everybody.
Yeah.
The sun was
The
setting.
sun was setting,
Yeah.
the lighting was just beautiful. It was just like the golden hour. Like you timed it perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I just got on one knee and I gave
Your speech.
my little
It
speech.
was a speech.
It was like da 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 da. You mean the world to me. And it would be
Yeah.
like this. Da 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 da. You mean the world to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And
You were on your knee for a
I
while.
was on my knee for a while. I maybe overdid it just a little bit. So I think I took it to the next level. It wasn't just a little bit extra long, but it was still meaningful. But yeah, that was our proposal story.
Yeah. And I said yes, of course.
Yeah.
Tears and all.
Yeah.
And I was over the moon. I
Yeah.
was really happy. I was really surprised at the ring that you bought me.
Yes. Why were we surprised?
It was beautiful.
Mm,
It really
mm,
was. So
yeah.
I was a happy camper.
And after the proposal, we all went inside
Yes.
for like a 4-course
And we had a 4-course Italian dinner.
dinner.
It was
Yeah.
really nice. The
Yeah.
food was good.
Yeah. And let me just add this part in because it was also special because the family friend that I know that told me about this place, once he realized my plan and what I wanted to do, I said, okay, how much is all this going to cost? Because I was trying to budget everything. And he said to me, you just go with your plan. I'll tell the restaurant the details. And he covered the whole cost of the meal for everybody. Like he was like, you know what, you do so much for everybody else. You know, this is my gift to you. And that was special for me because I'll never forget him doing that. Such a beautiful favor. And I got to really share this moment with you and our family and friends.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was beautiful.
it was beautiful. And that's our proposal story.
Very romantic.
Wouldn't have traded it for
You
anything.
did your big one.
I did my big
You
one.
did your big one.
Come on. But I think that's all we're going to give the people for tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 So if this has brought up any memories for you guys and how you were proposed to or the planning that you had, we would love to hear about it in the comments below.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So make sure you like, share this video, subscribe to our channel, And stay tuned for more videos from us.
And thank you for watching The Couples Corner.
Bye.
Take care, everybody.